Since it was first contested in 1927, the Ryder Cups provided golf fans with some of the most dramatic and memorable moments in the history of the sport. With the 40th edition taking place at Gleneagles later this year, we take a look back at 10 of the greatest Ryder Cup matches. Europe's miraculous turnaround at Medina in 2012 was sparked by the extraordinary second-day performance of one man. With the USA leading 10-4, Ian Poulter and his playing partner Rory McIlroy found themselves 2 down with 6 to play against Jason Dufner and Zach Johnson. Poulter then produced one of the gutsiest displays ever seen in the competition, birdieing the last 5 holes to win the match. His performance almost single-handedly dragged Europe back into the tie, proved the catalyst for a remarkable comeback on the Sunday singles, and cemented Poulter's reputation as a master of the match play format. In 1987, a European team filled with star names travelled to the United States with high hopes of winning on American soil for the first time ever. But it was the unheralded Irishman Amon Darcy who proved the unlikely hero at Muirfield Village. His opponent in the singles, Ben Crenshaw, had snapped his putter in frustration earlier in the round, but he still managed to claw his way back into the match from 3 down and took things all the way to the last. Darcy hadn't won a single Ryder Cup match in 10 attempts, but the Irishman held his nerve on the 18th to claim a crucial win. He was embraced by jubilant captain Tony Jacklin as Europe secured a landmark victory. In 1997, Thomas Bjorn and Justin Leonard played out one of the competition's great seesaw battles at Valderrama. Leonard got off to a flyer, winning the first 4 holes, as Bjorn in his Ryder Cup debut struggled to match him. However, following some words of advice from team captain Seve Ballesteros, the match started to turn around in the Europeans' favour. No quarter was asked or given, and each one of the last 11 holes were either won or lost, both men producing some exquisite golf. Bjorn's birdie on the 17th guaranteed Europe a crucial half in the match, as Seve masterminded a memorable 1-point European victory. One of the most dramatic conclusions to a Ryder Cup now, the 2010 edition at Celtic Manor, came down to the final singles match between Graham McDowell and Hunter Mahan. With the match tied at 13.5 apiece, a win for McDowell would give Europe the cup, whilst a half would see the USA retain the trophy. McDowell was 1 up with 3 to play, and this sensational birdie putt on the 16th saw him extend that lead. A bogey for Mahan on the 17th gave McDowell the win and secured an emotional Ryder Cup triumph for Monty's team. Royal Birkdale in 1969 is best remembered for a moment of supreme sportsmanship. Open champion Tony Jacklin was taking on Jack Nicklaus in the final day singles, and the overall contest was getting tighter and tighter as the Englishman holed a huge eagle putt on the 17th, giving him a chance to win the match on the final hole and secure Great Britain and Ireland a notable victory. The matches had been acrimonious from the start, and the outcome very much in the balance as the final game reached the last hole. Nicklaus on Ryder Cup debut made par, and Jacklin putted down to a couple of feet, but left himself an uncomfortable distance for a half. Before he had a chance to putt, Nicklaus stepped in, picked up his ball and conceded the putt, saying afterwards that even though he didn't think Jacklin would have missed the putt, in the circumstances, he didn't want to give him the opportunity to do so. In 1985 at the Belfry, Europe were trying to end a run of almost 30 years without a Ryder Cup win. Sam Torrance had been 3 down against reigning US Open champion Andy North, but fought back to tie the match going down the 18th. Whilst North found the water with his approach, Torrance safely hit the green in 2 before being mobbed by several of his teammates on the fairway. Up on the green, Torrance famously sank an 18-footer for birdie. And raised his hands in one of the Ryder Cup's defining images. Over the course of his career, Nick Faldo became renowned for his remarkable calmness under pressure, never more so than during the 1995 Ryder Cup at Oak Hill. After levelling his match against Curtis Strange on the 17th, Faldo knew a win on the last could prove decisive. His drive at 18 rolled into the rough, he muscled it out, and then, under immense pressure, played a wonderful third. Strange could only manage a bogey, so Faldo was faced with a knee-trembling putt for par. Holing out to swing the match decisively in favour of the Europeans. Kiowa Island, 1991, and the war on the shore. After 3 days of bitter combat, the 29th Ryder Cup came down to the final hole and the final singles match between Hale Irwin and Bernhard Langer. Irwin had to settle for a bogey, leaving Langer crouching over his putt with the weight of a continent on his shoulders. If he holed it, the match was tied, Europe would retain the trophy. Miss it, and the US would win for the first time since 1983. Langer stalked his ball for an eternity before pulling the trigger, and one of golf's most famous misses led to wild celebrations among the American players and fans. The 2012 Ryder Cup witnessed one of the greatest sporting comebacks of all time, with Europe fighting back from 10-6 down going into Sunday's singles to win. The European spirit was embodied by Justin Rose in his incredible match with Phil Mickelson. After a superb save on the 16th, Rose holed a spectacular birdie putt on 17 to tie the match. The Englishman then faced another 12-footer on the last for a dramatic win that would continue Europe's remarkable resurgence. Martin Keimer may be the man remembered for holding the winning putt, but Rose's performance was crucial. Still perhaps the most controversial Ryder Cup of all time, Brookline in 1999 saw the biggest ever comeback by an American team. Their performance personified by Justin Leonard, who rallied from 4 down with 7 to play to stun Spain's Jose Maria Olazabal in the singles. Leonard had a 45-foot birdie putt on the 17th that, when he holed, sparked the infamous invasion by teammates, caddies, wives and cameramen. With Olazabal still to putt and the green being trampled all over, European captain Mark James and his team were horrified by what they were seeing. When the hubbub died down, Olazabal missed his birdie putt, giving the USA the half point they needed to win the Ryder Cup.